Tasha Carter was no stranger to hard times. A single black mom raising her 10-year-old son Malik in the gritty outskirts of Detroit. She had learned long ago how to stretch every dollar and every ounce of strength she had. Working double shifts, at Rosie's Diner, she wore a tired smile for customers, even the ones who treated her like she was invisible. The clink of dishes, the sizzle of the grill, and the smell of burnt coffee were the soundtrack of her life. But Tasha held her head high. She wasn't working for herself. She was working for Malik's future. Malik, with his curious eyes and big dreams of becoming an engineer, was her world, her reason for pushing through the exhaustion. One rainy evening, as the diner's neon sign flickered against the wet pavement, a man stumbled and he was drenched. Mud splattered up his jeans, and his leather Hell's Angels vest clung to him. His hair was a wild mess, his beard unkempt, and his eyes hollow with hunger. The other customers froze. Conversations died mid-sentence. Tasha felt every gaze shift to the man as he slumped onto a stool at the counter. The air grew thick with tension. No one wanted trouble, and a Hell's Angel in a working-class diner screamed trouble. But Tasha saw something else. A man beaten down by more than just the rain. She grabbed a towel and slid it toward him. "You look like you could use a meal." "Sugar," she said gently. The man stared at her, surprised by the kindness. "Don't got no money," he mumbled. Before she could speak, her manager, Earl, stormed out from the kitchen. "Tasha, don't serve him. We don't need that kind of customer in here." He barked loud enough for everyone to hear. Tasha's heart pounded. She could feel the eyes of the other patrons, waiting to see what she would do. Malik's face flashed in her mind, but so did the face of this hungry stranger. "He's human. Earl, let me get him something hot. I'll pay for it out of my pocket," she said. Earl's face turned red with anger. "You do. You're done here." But Tasha had already made up her mind. She poured a bowl of steaming chili, slid over a plate of cornbread, and placed it in front of the man. The biker's eyes welled up. As he whispered, "Thank you," Earl exploded. "Get out, Tasha. You're fired. Right now." The diner fell into silence. Tasha untied her apron, tears burning in her eyes. Not from regret, but from the humiliation of losing the job she desperately needed. The biker tried to stop her, but she shook her head, offering him a small smile. Outside, the rain had stopped, but Tasha felt as if the storm was just beginning. She walked home, the weight of the world on her shoulders. Malik greeted her at the door, his smile fading when he saw the pain in her eyes. She told him the truth. And though he was just a boy, he hugged her tight and said, "Mama, you did the right thing." That night, as they shared a simple dinner of rice and beans, Tasha worried about rent, about food, about how she would find work again. But deep down, she also felt a strange peace, knowing she had chosen compassion over fear. The next morning brought no relief. Tasha combed through job listings, knocked on doors, and pleaded with managers across the city, but no one was hiring. Word of her incident at Rosie's had already spread in their small community. She felt the sting of judgmental stares and heard the whispers. Days turned into a week, then two. The little savings she had were drying up. Malik's school lunch money was gone, and the bills piled up on the kitchen counter like a mountain she couldn't climb. One afternoon, as she sat on the front steps of their worn-out apartment building, watching Malik play with a makeshift toy, a rumble of motorcycles filled the air. Tasha tensed, recognizing the sound. A line of bikes roared into the lot, and she froze as the same biker from the diner stepped off his bike. But he wasn't alone. A dozen Hell's Angels, rough and rugged, stood behind him. Neighbors peeked through curtains. Certain trouble had arrived. The biker walked up to her and removed his sunglasses. His eyes, kind and sincere, met hers. "Ma'am," he began, "I've been looking for you. My name's Hank. I never got to say how much that meal meant to me. I was at rock bottom, thought no one in this world gave a damn, but you did." Tasha tried to wave him off, embarrassed by the attention, but Hank wasn't done. "I owe you more than thanks. I own a chain of motorcycle shops, real successful. Was just down on my luck that night, and me and my brothers here, we've come to make things right." Before she could speak, he handed her an envelope. Inside was a check with more zeros than she'd ever seen in her life. "This is to help you and your boy. I'd like to offer you a job managing the front office of my main store. Good pay, full benefits." Tasha's breath caught in her throat. Tears streamed down her face as Malik ran up, clutching her hand. The crowd of bikers nodded, their tough faces softened with respect. The days that followed felt like a dream. Tasha started her new job, learning quickly and earning the respect of Hank's team. She moved Malik into a safer neighborhood, enrolled him in a better school, and watched him thrive. But she didn't stop there. Tasha began organizing food drives for the homeless, remembering how close she'd come to losing it all. She shared her story at community centers, inspiring others to choose kindness even when it was hard. And every Sunday, a line of motorcycles would rumble down her street as Hank and his brothers came by to check in, not as Hell's Angels, but as family. Tasha's life was forever changed, not by luck, but by one brave act of compassion that set into motion a chain of miracles. And dear viewers, let this be a reminder that kindness costs nothing, but can change everything. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories that will touch your heart and inspire your soul. Your support helps us continue to share these life-changing tales. Hit that subscribe button, like, and share if you believe in the power of kindness.